Okay, we are good to go. So, welcome into ALR Tier 2 Blue Season 20 Round 3 here at Watkins Glen. We'll have a quick run through the grid for the sprint race. I think we're a little bit... we're only short of 2 drivers. Thought it was a bit less than that. But we've got Taz on pole, which is, I think, really impressive in the Audi. It's decent, but I wouldn't have thought it'd be on pole around here. Got Pyro in second, which is just crazy. Like, the difference between last season and this season, he's been up here, kind of, not quite this high up, but he's been up there before in qualifying. Got his teammate in third behind him, both in the AMG, so that's good for their Constructors' Championship. Harry looking to bounce back from a little bit of a weaker round, had the double win at the first round. I think he was bottom end of the top 10 last week, and now he's in fourth in qualifying in the Citroen as well, so he's going to get a good launch. Then we've got Prime Call up in fifth. That's really good in the McLaren. We've seen him sort of towards the bottom end of the top 10 before, so up in fifth is a good qualifying. Astro in sixth in the Jaguar. Another car that's good off the line. It's kind of the tier of cars that are good off the line or really bad. If you look at the back, there's a couple of Porsches down there. Then we've got Jack in seventh and second of the Citroens. Another decent qualifying, only a couple of positions behind his teammate. Ross up in eighth. I think he's had a few rough qualifyings in the last couple of rounds, so at least he's in the top 10 to start with this time. Rukis, we've seen him have the pace. I think he's had one spin in 4 races, which isn't too bad. In McLaren in ninth. We've got Arfaxad. I think this is his first time in the top 10 in the Porsche, which is, going to say, surprising. What is Max Verstappen in? I think he's in the Alpha. But Arfaxad in the Porsche in the top 10. Then he's got the Viper behind of Auto, who is definitely going to be jumping him off the line easily. And it is Max Verstappen in the Alpha 4C, which I don't think is particularly great around here. So being in 12th, not a big surprise. Turbo Boy in the Porsche, being sort of towards this position in most of the qualifyings. And then we've got Badabig, who was serving a quali ban. So we don't know where he's going to come through to, but I suspect it'll be towards the front. So let's get this race underway. I might have to go through and check if anybody's on medium tyres for this. And lights out, away we go. Pyro surely going to take the lead. No, he's going to get jumped by Harry, I think. Yeah, Citroen just too good off the line. The AMG's no slouch either. So still holding second. Got his teammate on the outside, but he does look like he's managed to hold second. Taz down to fourth, going side by side with Kling. He's got off the inside line for the chicane, as long as they don't end up going 3 wide. Looks like he's got it for now with some help from Jack. Is Pyro going to set up a move for the chicane? No, he's just happens to stay behind for now. AMG should be able to take the chicane a lot better than the Citroen can. Oh, there's a big slide for Kling. Looks like it's going to cost him position to Jack. Although he's not lost it yet, he's still hanging it around the outside. He's going to set up on the inside for this next corner. Is Jack going to try and do the same? No, Astro's actually going to take advantage and come down the inside, get him up into 5th. Now he's going side by side with Ross behind. He's also gained a couple of positions on the opening lap. And we've actually got Badabig up into 8th at the moment. Evening, Jack. Oh, that was a crash behind. Let's go back and see who was that. Was that Arfaxad maybe? Yeah, he's a little bit late. I prefer doing them late, to be honest. Between 8 and 9. Oh, big slide for Arfaxad. Then get onto the grass. And spins round. He had a penalty as well to serve. Oh, Arukis is stopped. I think that probably means that that was potentially his fault. Or he thinks it's his fault. Tries to come back, gets on the power. I honestly, I don't think I'd have waited for that. He was already sliding before he got to him. And then we've got another move going on here. So let's go on board with the. Let's go on HUD cam. So he tries to break down the inside of Ross. Doesn't really get that by the turning point. Series results are out, and I do know that he does get a penalty for that. So he has got, I think, 5 seconds hanging over him in this one. Does manage to get up into 7th though. It's still a good 7 positions gained on lap 1. And ooh, something's happened up front. Pyro, did Pyro get a penalty? Oh, there's too much going on. He's in 2nd. Yeah, he must have. Where did he pick that up? Ah, it must be on the exit of this corner. Really? I'm sure I've seen people get away with that and not get a penalty. But that is unfortunate. Right on the back of Harry. We know he's going to cost him the position to Taz. And half-second penalty is still more like a second penalty. Once you actually served it and got back up to racing speed. So there goes Taz. Kling gets close, but these are teammates. Pyro's got the inside anyway, manages to hold it. Just don't get yourself a penalty on the exit there. I think he's okay. Both the AMGs come under pressure from Astro as Kling goes really wide. A couple of people going wide in the background, but he's managed to hold on to P4. Astro's trying to come around the outside. That's just within track limits. Just have to wait and see if he gets a penalty. No, it looks like he did. That was a really great move from Astro. Obviously cost him some time to Pyro. He's going to come back under immediate threat from Kling down into turn 1. A little bit of a late one from Kling. Ooh, Astro gets pushed out wide. That might be a penalty. Yeah, it is a penalty. Really unfortunate. I'm pretty sure there was some small amount of contact into turn 1. He pushed him wide and then the rear just slid out over the curb. And Astro just deciding to bump draft for now, although Badabig not interested in that and absolutely sends it into the chicane. I think Astro just having to be a little bit safe with Klinger right in front of him, and Badabig just did not care, sent it down the inside, and now he's up into P5 from P14. So it's been a great start so far. Ooh, Harry's got a second penalty. So Taz is back into the lead. Pyro's up into 2nd. Harry down into 6th. And it's going to be even worse with the penalty. And his teammates got half second as well. There's so many penalties. He didn't even feel any contact. It might have been netcode. It might have been. Because Astro was sort of lagging around a little bit at the start of this race. So it could have been that. But we've got lots of places lost. Harry's down from, well, he was first, but he dropped back a bit before the penalty, and the penalty drops him down just in the bottom end of the top 10. But we want to at least hold on to that if he can. Oh, whoa, 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 what is that? What's going on up front? This thing is changing around too fast. What is happening? Pyro have a penalty of his own as well? Oh, Pyro's got a second penalty as well. That's going to cost him the podium positions for now. So Klinger now up into 2nd. Taz has got a lead in 1st. And Badabig is all of a sudden in 3rd, even though he started last. Got both the Jaguars P5 and 6. Prime Call is back up into 7th after getting jumped off the line by a fair few people. That kind of is how he's been driving. He's made some good moves and some not so good moves in this first couple of laps. Because hopefully it'll just start to settle down a little bit. We've got Astro. I think Ross is coming under a bit of threat from Prime Call behind. How is Badabig's Renault going to do on the straights? Future telling. The movie's coming. Got the fastest lap, 45.6. Pyro closing in, but you kind of need to be alongside before the braking zone to go for a move into that chicane, unless the driver in front's compromised. Or it usually ends in disaster. So, top 5 starting to break away. There is a bit of a train behind Ross at the moment. Looks like it's all the way down to P12. I wonder if some drivers are just being a little bit careful with the tyres. Because this is going to be one of the harsher sprint races. I know some cars can barely make it, and a lot of the MR cars can make it fairly comfortably. Although Badabic's tyres are basically identical to the AMG. So he's not really seeing an advantage. Yeah, and look at the R8. The R8's front tyre is holding up much better. So we're going to stick on this because we know a move is coming, and it is apparently Ascend, so we don't want to miss that. Surely it's not coming now because he's so far back. This has got to be Ascend. There's not Ascend coming. Clean just, I imagine there was Ascend at some point. I know we got a penalty for the one on Ross on lap 1. I don't know if any of the other ones were for lap 1 or not. Yeah, but look at the difference in tyres between the Audi and the Klinger. I was in the feature. We'll keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out for it when we get there. Is Taz going to think about trying to go for the fastest lap? His tyres are still good enough to beat a 45.6. What kind of times is he on? He's improving. Yeah, Badabic's tyre is still pretty much identical to the AMG. He's still coming under a lot of pressure from Pyro behind. Pyro going to go for the move. Looks like he was shaping up for it, but I don't think he fully sent it in there. And it looks like the Renault's slightly better in this section. It's actually the middle section that Pyro was catching up. Don't know if there was a small mistake from Badabic. Let's drop back a little bit, because we know Ross is coming under pressure from Primecol. We did out-qualify him, so he should, in theory, have the pace. Badabic still got the fastest lap, so Arukis didn't improve it. Primecol being forced to the outside. Has to slot back in. Oh, got half a second behind for Jack. That penalty is not going to help, especially with how close that pack is. Ross covering off the inside completely. Primecol not going to try and send it around the outside. Only halfway through the race at the moment. How are the tyres looking? A lot better on Primecol again. Exactly what we'd expect. I think this is only a matter of time because Ross's tyres are only going to degrade faster and faster compared to Primecol's. Being forced to the outside again. Is he going to dive to the inside? No. Still choosing just to follow for now. And Ross immediately has to cover off the inside line. And it looks like behind Jack might actually be able to hold on to this position. Was possibly very late on the brakes. Might got a little bit of help from his teammate in that. Oh, and Auto's losing a lot of positions, down to 12. Max Verstappen's tyres are looking pretty good. There's Arukis and, like I said, they've well and truly separated themselves. Oh, what's going on with Kling? Penalty maybe? See what this lap is. Astro's got one behind, 47.8, 46.6, 46.6 for the cars that have got past him. And Pyro's tyres are actually looking better than the cars around him, apart from Taz, who is just chilling and driving away at the moment. So is Pyro going to be fast enough to get a move done? Tried to go to the inside there, but there wasn't enough space for him to get through. Ends up just bump drafting, falling in line. We've got a bit of a four-way battle developing for P2. Astro, got a second penalty now, got another half second. How's his tyres looking? Slightly better, but not a significant amount. Not going to be enough to cost him the position. Primeco's still struggling to get past Ross in the background. Pyro's kind of drops off the back of Bada Big a little bit there. Not going to be going for the move, so let's go back to Ross and Primeco. Primeco's not really close enough to send it for a move either. Still on the much better tyres. And Harry's actually starting to pull away from the group behind, and we've got Max Verstappen and Turbo Boy battling out for the bottom in the top 10. Jack's actually dropped out of that, possibly with another penalty on that lap. Having a big slide. He's definitely going to want to get one of these positions at least. It'll make a big difference for his feature race if he can get into the top 10. Otto, how your tyres looking? Not good. Certainly not compared to Jack. Arfac's side, Citroen's tyres are looking a lot better than the Porsche. Jack gets the run. Citroen is better on the straights than the Porsche. Porsche is very good on the brakes though. Turbo Boy using that just out brakes him, keeps going around the outside. That might be another penalty for Jack. Looks close. He's okay. How are we looking at the front? Still well and truly spread out. So Jack going to try and go around the outside of Turbo Boy. Little bit of contact. He's leaving him just about a car's width. Jack, he was thinking about trying it around the outside. Oh, that might cost him position. I don't think Otto's going to be able to hold it around the outside with those tyres. And he can't. So Jack does hold on to P11 for now. That's cost him a lot of time to Turbo Boy. That's stepping up ahead. Harry with another half-second penalty. And all these guys are going to be thanking their lucky stars that were on weak penalties and not strong anymore. Because these would have all been probably a second or more bigger than they have been. It's going to drop him into the clutches of Max Verstappen, who goes for a late one to the inside. Just about alongside. But it's going to give Harry the inside for this next hairpin. He should probably be able to hold this. And ooh, maybe not. Max Verstappen getting the switchback. He's alongside but not ahead. Just about holding it is Harry at the moment. And he does hold it. Some nice battling there between these two. Primeco has finally managed to get past Ross. Significant difference in the tyre wear there. These two are on fairly similar tyres. Max Verstappen going for a late one to the inside. Does that allow Harry to get the better run? He does, but he's not going to get him alongside before. Was that the first 1 second penalty where you were leading, or was there another time? Because we did miss that, whatever happened before the penalty. Oh, 1 second penalty for Max Verstappen. That's going to be a free position for Harry as long as he doesn't get a penalty. Evening, Ellie. Yeah, you come to watch the worst tier 2 and see how they do it. Primeco's starting to really close on Astro. That tyre difference is crazy. How are the guys up front doing? Taz got plenty of tyres. I don't think he's in any danger. All he's got to do is worry about not getting penalties. Pyro and Klingo got slightly better tyres than Bada Big, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make a significant difference. I think we're going to keep an eye on Primeco, if anything, because he definitely got a tyre advantage big enough to get to Astro. I only got 1 lap to do it, mind, but that is a big tyre advantage. Harry did get past Max. Jack is now up into top 10. Had a Turbo Boy, the tyres link starting to kick in there. Otto's doing well to hang on to the back of this group in the Viper with those dead tyres. Then we've got a Rukas and Arfax out fighting for the wooden spoon out of the back at the moment. We're looking back to see how many places you've missed your braking point and went on the grass. Lovely. Well, you're up into 8. You're still in the reverse grip positions and you've got a bit of a gap now. Could be worse. Could definitely have been worse. There's the gap up front. But he's got a decent gap to Pyro right now. Yeah, in theory, because you've got the better tyre wear as well. Oh, the better tyre wear than these guys, probably pretty similar to Taz, I would reckon. I don't think Astro's tyres are going to punch, although he was really struggling to get it turned in there. Prime call. There's just about enough space there. Can he hold this? It was a really good move. Ooh, has he got it? Goes a little bit wide, but he has got it. Really good move there from Prime Call. The gap was just about there. He did not hesitate. I'm not sure Astro's going to have anything to come back at him with those tyres. Final lap does get a better run. Jack does have slightly better acceleration, but once we get through this next corner, there's not really going to be an opportunity for Astro to go for a move. Yeah, it really is. Taz in the same boat, just got jumped off the line, but didn't get a penalty. Everyone in front of him did. And he's just going to cruise his way to P1 in the sprint race. Great drive from Taz. Great drive from Badabig as well to get into second. Does have a penalty serve. That's probably going to drop him down to 6th maybe. Pyro gets a podium, so it's a great result for Pyro again. Great result for AMG with P3 and P4. Prime Call does get 5th with that. That's just crazy tyre wear. Crazy tyre wear. Astro gets 7th. Did Ross get a puncture? No, but he did lose the position to Harry on the last lap. Possibly picking up a penalty. Then we've got Max Verstappen 9th, we've got Jack in 10th as final reverse grid spot. Turbo Boy just missing out ahead of Otto, Rukis, and Alfaxad going to bring us to the end in last place for that one. So let's go and grab the feature race. I'm curious to see if anybody tries any different strategies in this one. I suspect some drivers, looking at the stats, might have tried a 2-stop in the lower tiers, but I'm not sure. I think generally everyone is pretty certain that the 1-stop is faster. You did a 2-stop. Fair play. It didn't work. Well tried. So we did have some drivers trying the 2-stop. I mean, you started on pole, so I guess that kind of makes sense as an option. If it was ever going to work from P1 is where it's going to work from. Medium hard. So you did the 1-stop then? Not the 2-stop. So anyone who's starting on the hards, I'm fairly certain is going for a 2-stop. Jack going on the mediums first, if he's doing the 1-stop, makes sense. Try and build a gap. That's what the guys in Tier 1 did as well. Yeah, I was going to say, Ellie, what you did is the alternate, trying the 2-stop. What do you mean? How could the medium hard not work? You couldn't gap. Ooh, okay, that's a problem. That is a problem. So we've got Jack mediums, Max on the hards, everybody else on the hards. Anyone going mediums? No. So everybody's going the 1-stop. Even Jack at the front, he's just doing an alternate order for the 1-stop. Gonna go mediums first. What's a good gap? I think the guys in Tier 1 got to about 10 seconds at its biggest. But then the last couple of laps on the mediums, the hard runners started taking a bit of time out of them. So it was down to around 8 by the time they actually pitted. And he did hold on for a podium in Tier 1. Would have possibly been a double podium if I hadn't actually accidentally spun Racing Green. Ooh, Harry going for a late look to the inside. Had to back out of that one. Yeah. It was unfortunate. So, I mean, Jack's starting to pull away now. Just a question of if it peaks, if the gap stops getting big, he goes really wide in that corner. Set him up for a good exit, but it would have still lost him time. got a bit of a gap opening up behind P10. Ooh, Taz going for a late one on Badabig. That's a little bit late, but I think Badabig's going to be able to hold this with the inside line. Oh, Ross! What's happened to Ross? He was defending from Harry. I guess a little bit of a tag. Nothing in that, though. Oh, just loses it on the hard tyres. Oh, and then, oh... That's really unfortunate. I've done that so many times. You get back on track and you think, oh yeah, I can put my foot down now. No, you've got dirty tyres, cold hard tyres and dirty tyres. That is going to make it difficult for us to get back into this, because everybody's going to be on the same strategy. The only thing he's got to work with is whatever pace he's got. Top 10's not out of the question, but it's a big ask. So that promotes a lot of people up a position, because he was running third at the time. Now we've got Astro battling with Harry. Harry's still got the inside for now. Curious to see how these shake out on the straight, because I know the Jag is fast, and we've actually got Prime Cole making it 3. Well, dear, this is going to end badly. How did that work out? Prime Cole getting 2 positions there, I think, or at least 1. I'm amazed nobody died there. I'm really amazed. Harry goes a little bit wide. Doesn't get a penalty though. I think it's Badabig behind who's got a half second. Pyro's looking to the inside of Harry. Might be able to get into 5th here. Keeps it hugged to the inside. Does get that move done. Badabig comes up the inside of Harry, but that is going to lose a couple of positions with the penalty. Might be able to stay ahead of Klingbo. Yeah, and he will just about manage it. Taz looking like he went for a move on Harry into that corner. So Harry's dropping down quite a few positions. Just getting sort of muscled out into the parts of the track you don't really want to be on. Oh, and I think he made another mistake there. Loses the position to Badabig. He was going super slow there. Did he just have dirty tyres? I'm really curious what actually happened. I'm guessing he just goes wide and gets dirty tyres. Oh, big slide. And dirty tyres. And then what happens here? Just the dirty edge. Dirty hard tyres, just cannot get it turned in. And Kling just drives up the inside of him. So this opening couple of laps has really not gone well for Harry. Down into 9th. Started P4, I think. So just needs to resettle himself down and get focused, because you know he's got the pace, because he was coming forward at the end of the sprint race as well. So how are we looking up front? Just getting in, he's building a decent gap. 48.2 compared to 49.0, 8 tenths. That's kind of what he needs to be pulling out every lap, 8 tenths. Prime Cole making another move on Pyro. Oh, actually I think he's defending from Pyro there. Still in 4th, but we saw that tyre wear in the sprint race. If he can carry that over into this one, he's going to be laughing, because he should be able to come in so much earlier and get on the mediums. But interesting if he chooses to do so. We'll have to keep an eye on the tyre wear to see if it's even that much better in the feature. Pyro's trying to get around him any which way he can. Slight little bit of contact there, but nothing really doing. Taz in 6th, then there's a gap behind to Harry, who's managed to get back up into 7th. So he's got a bit of free air to drive into now. Maybe he can get himself into a good rhythm and start to make some progress. Primeco's pulled away a lot in this section, this final couple of corners. Not sure if it was a small mistake from Pyro, or if it was just Primeco going faster. See, what's the gap at the front? 47.4, 1.5 seconds. So he's still pulling a gap. What do we reckon the strategy is going to be? I reckon it's going to be 9.95 maybe? 9 medium, 5 on the soft. Although he's not even going for the 2-stop. So he's confused me now, saying he was going for the 2-stop. He's trying the 1-stop. So he's going to lap 10, I reckon. Maybe one more, potentially. Oh, Astro! Is he trying to go for a move on Max there? To the outside, he does get ahead, but not fully ahead. Yeah, just overshoots the move into there, but doesn't get a penalty for the second part of the chicane. But is Prime Cole going to go for another one? This is the identical move he pulled in the sprint race. Does manage to get it, or... Yeah, he does manage to get it. Pirates puts a second penalty behind that. So that's going to be one position lost at least. Now we've got Prime Cole up into third and close on the back of Max Verstappen. Ooh, big slide. Yeah, 995. Yeah, I thought it would be that. So Astro had a big slide. Where did Pyro drop to? Dropped two positions, sorry. One to Harry as well as Taz. Now he's got Bada Big right behind him. I think it looks like he's actually lost out to Turbo Boy. Turbo Boy up into P9. So it's going okay so far. Let's have a quick check-in with Ross. What kind of lap times we were doing? 48.9, 49.2. He closed on Arukis. Not really on the cars ahead of that though, so he's not really closing in at the moment. Jack, another 47.5 compared to a 49.3, so that's 2 seconds. It looks like you're building a decent gap for now. Let's stick with this gap. Can Prime Cole get a run on Max Verstappen to get the move done in the chicane? Nicely in the slipstream. Going to pull out to the outside. How good is the run? He's ahead. Not quite as late on the brakes, but he manages to make it better than Astro did the lap before. And it looks like he's got that done. Really nice move there again from Prime Cole. He's been making some great moves in these races. Up into P2 now. And this could be where the gap stops increasing potentially, because Prime Cole looks like he's got the pace, he's got the tyre wear, and he's got the overtakes down. As Max Verstappen coming under pressure from Taz. Yeah, really nice move. We saw Astro try that move the lap before and just slightly overcooked it. But Prime Cole absolutely nailing it around the outside. And we've got Harry closing up onto this pack behind. So he's obviously got into a rhythm now. Tyres completely, 100% definitely up to temperature. They do take a few laps, the hard tyres. Prime Cole's... Whoa, who's that having a big slide? That was Max Verstappen having a huge slide. Just absolutely drifting it around the last corner. Going to cost him a position. But it's better than spinning. I want to have a look at that again. Let's go on board with the cockpit cam. Just clips the grass. Keeps his foot planted. Just holds it. Really nicely held there. Was super close to going very wrong. Clearly having a look at Turbo Boy. Where is Pyro? We've lost Pyro in this somewhere. 53 on the last lap. I don't know if that's a penalty or some sort of crash. That seems a big time loss just for a penalty. Although Badabig had the same lap time, so there might have been an incident between Pyro and Badabig at the bus stop. With Badabig, yeah. Because they did have basically the same lap times. So obviously going to allow Ross to get closer to the back of the pack. Mid 48s for Prime Call. I think what are good times for the hards. I think we were doing 46s on the hards. 48s is good pace. Jack's feeling well, he's just dropped out of the 47s into the 48s. Only half a second gained on that lap. Is this going to be the turning point? Probably. It's getting close. 1 or 2 more laps, only 1.2 down, so that's a 48.6 already. So it's not been a great lap from Jack. I'll watch it to the line and see what time he does. It's probably going to be a high 48 though, which I don't think is going to gain any time on this lap. Oh, 49.0. That was not a good lap from Jack. Promco's going to come across with a 48.0. Actually took a second out of the lead. So yeah, this is when that gap, he's not going to be pulling the gap anymore. Have we got any battles going on? Everybody's nicely spread out so far. Badabig has now got past Pyro. I think you've got the pace, it's just... sometimes if you don't know how to drive the track on worn tyres, as soon as you lose that peak grip, you start to lose chunks of lap time. Badabig trying to get his way around our backside. His tyres are not looking great. Same as our backside, but they are not in great shape. Already basically over 50%, or under 50% left on the tyres. As he dives to the inside, he's got the better run. Going to be able to cover off the inside, and he does. That puts him back onto a rookie side. With Otto, was Otto serving a penalty there? Looks like he might have been, because the McLaren should not be out dragging the Viper. Rookies can't hold it around the outside though and give himself the inside for the hairpin, although I think Otto might have gone a little bit wide and just opened the door. Rookies was there, stays there. Oh, and that might be a penalty for Otto. No, he backs out of it. Hopefully that doesn't give him a penalty for that. Yeah, he's okay. Oh, we've had some incident behind with Kling and Turbo Boy. What has happened with you two? Oh, something here. Klinger tried to get to the inside and just tags Turbo Boy and ends up spinning him round, and then waits for him. So fair play for waiting. That did look like it was Kling's fault, that one. And that's Ross up to 12. Doing mid 48s. He's definitely closing on the cars ahead now, with them fighting each other. Badabig has managed to get past the Rukis and is now up into 7th. Gonna have to defend this. Goes to the inside, then back to the racing line. I think he got a bump from Marukis and knew he wouldn't have to actually defend that. We've seen Badabig's got the pace, so he can probably drive away from the guys behind right now. How is the gap at the front shaping up? Back down to 48.3 for Jack. 47.9 though for Primecall. It's just going faster and faster on these hard tyres. Basically the same tyre wear as Taz, but if we look at Astro, his tyre wear is definitely worse. And then we got Harry challenging Astro. So the MR cars really starting to come to the fore now. Second half of the stint, which you would expect. And I think Max Verstappen just had a penalty and he's lost that position to Badabig. So Badabig now up to 6th with a lot of free air in front of him. And Rukis looks like he's going to get that move done behind. And he does. Max Verstappen, he was taking really good care of the tyres in the sprint race. He still is now, but the problem is he's around a load of other MR cars, so there's no real advantage there. Pyro and Auto are the ones that are going to have worse tyre wear, but he's already ahead of them. Oh, and half a second for Pyro. He's not good. Definitely going to cost him position to Auto. When they get round to that part of the track, a little bit of a bump there from our backside. Had to back out of it to not make it worse, and he drops off the back. Not going to be able to get a run. Don't think Max Verstappen's close enough to go for a run on Rukis either. So how are we looking for miles there? Nicely spread out. Harry's pretty close to Astro here. Yeah, he really is. It's so easy to pick up a penalty. You've got to push the track limits for the time, to get the lap time down. Or most of them anyway. Turn 1, you've definitely got to push the track limits to get the lap time. The last corner, the penultimate corner, you don't really have to. But yeah, Harry's actually not getting that close. Tyres are better, but they're not massively different. He's starting to pull away from the group behind. Rukis and Max Verstappen are starting to pull away. I've actually lost a couple of positions there. Auto gets 2 positions, one from our side and one from Pyro's penalty. Honestly, Auto's tyres are hanging on better than I thought they would. I thought the Viper would just absolutely destroy the tyres around here. They're not good, but they're matching the AMG behind a Pyro. As Pyro looks to the inside, gets fully alongside, cuts all of the curb, gets the move done. Can Auto fight back? He really should be short shifting in that thing, especially in the feature race. Looks like he's revving it all the way out. Definitely got the overspeed, but it looks... we had to pull back in, so we're having second thoughts about going for the move, but he does send it into the chicane and makes it work. So also back ahead now. And our backside still on the back of this pair. So 9th, 10th, 11th. Ross slowly starting to come into picture for this fight. How's his tyres looking? Very, very marginally better than Auto and Pyro, but it's negligible really. Got Pyro having a bit of a slide going over the curb on the inside. Might have cost him a little bit on the exit. Because our backside looks like he's really close. Man, he's not really close. Thought he might have been able to set himself up for a move there. Is Jack coming into the pits? No, he's not. So Jack's going for 11 and 12, I'm guessing then. Look, you see that time's come down a lot to Prime Cole and Taz behind. Both doing low 48s still doing low 48s. And Jack, 48.6. But his times are fluctuating a lot. A couple of 49s. They're back into the 48s. How are we looking on fuel? Pretty much the same. Audi's actually got better fuel than the McLaren and the Citroen. So is Taz doing any short shifting in this? A little bit. He's doing a little bit of short shifting. So that explains where that advantage is coming from. But now Harry still got the tyre advantage. Got to look to the inside. Astro manages to hold on though. And that's the thing about going for that move as well. If you don't make it, you generally lose a couple of car lengths at least. So it takes a few corners to catch back up and try and set something up again. Oh, Astro going super wide. I wonder if that'll give him a penalty. It looked like all four wheels on the grass, but I don't know if that actually gives you a penalty. Gonna cost him the position though. Looks like Harry's got this one. Gonna have the inside for the hairpin. Astro's tyres are still gonna be dirty when he gets there as well. And Harry down the inside. Actually hasn't got it done. That's really surprising. Astro managing to hold it around the outside. I'm setting myself on the inside for this hairpin. Still going side by side. Harry looks like he got the better run there. Gets up into P4. And Jackie's coming in out of the lead. Harry's coming in as well off the hard tyres. Reckons he can go 12 laps on the mediums. I mean, that could work out great if he last. Because he's going to get an undercut on the other drivers on the hard tyres. I'm surprised Prime Car hasn't come in. Taz's tyres are a little bit worse on the rear. But Prime Cars are fairly even. So Astro carried on, Badabig carried on. Oh, he's got another half-second penalty. Rukis has better tyres, and he's sort of starting to close in, but I think that's mostly because of Badabig's penalties. Had a half-second on the last lap, he's got another half-second this lap. Max Verstappen coming under pressure from Auto. To the inside, looks like he's going to hold it around the outside, also going super wide. That's Pyro through. 2 easy positions for Pyro. Just great bit of opportunistic driving there. Just the gap opened up, just absolutely send it through there. And he's got worse tyres than Max Verstappen has. Avasad managed to get through on Auto as well, and Ross is now really back into this fight. And he's got better fuel, and the cars in front have got penalties. I don't know if that's going to be enough to lose the position to Ross, but it's definitely going to bring him right into the fight. So top 10 definitely isn't out of the question for Ross here. Doesn't look like any of the other hard runners come in yet. So Harry's going to have a 2-lap undercut on the mediums. As long as he nails the lap, doesn't get any penalties, it's going to be a big advantage. Don't know if he got any penalties. Klinger's still going. I think Turbo Boy is the driver that's left at the moment. So I'm curious what the gap is between Jack and between Harry. It's between 6 and 7 seconds. And we're looking at about a second a lap. That's probably going to be gone in 6-7 laps. And Jack was the leader. Anybody underfueled? Harry's got a little bit less than Jack, so we should something to keep an eye on at the end of the race. Badabig's still battling with the rookies, but he's got half-second penalty. He's going to lose that position. Taz has closed up to Prime Call. Lap times fairly similar, so maybe it was just this lap. I think both of these drivers are going to be coming in this lap. 13.10 is kind of the standard one stop that I saw most people go with and try. So are they coming in? It looks like they are both coming in. Astro surely going to come in. I don't think those tyres can go any further. Yeah, and they can't. He's coming in. Rukis and Badabig. Pyro. Max Verstappen with a half-second penalty. Avaxad. Auto's carrying on. I mean, I know the tyre wear is bad, but if everybody else has made it, his tyre's actually better than Astro, who's going to try and go 10 on the mediums. Everybody else has come in. So where does Jack come out? I'm pretty sure he's going to come out in the lead still. Question is, what's the gap going to be like, and where is Harry going to fit into this? Primecore's gone on the softs. That's bold and very unexpected. And they've actually come out ahead of Jack. How have they managed that? Oh, and Jack's got a half-second penalty as well. Ooh, 150 on the last lap. That is Not a great lap for the hard tyres. Would have been first lap. I misclicked. I was going to say that was very surprising. I don't think there's... He's going to either have to just full send it and pay again for another set of softs, or he tries and babies these things to the end, which I think is a big ask. I don't know. I mean, if there was any car combo, like car driver combo that could, this is it, because we saw his tyre wear in the sprint race. But I don't think, like, I'm 6-7 laps maximum on the soft tyres. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I mean, surely he's going to get himself the fastest lap point at least. Because he's got the pace and he should be able to beat everyone else's times on the mediums. But he could really do with getting past Taz as quick as he can. You don't want to be in dirty air, that really hurts the tyre wear. And he needs to be using, if he's going flat, he needs to be using the pace of the softs in that free air. Doesn't actually get fastest lap though, 46.8 from Harry on the mediums in 4th. I imagine Jack and Harry are super close now. Probably going to be a swap in positions here. Don't think Jack's going to fight this, they are teammates after all. Yeah, it does let his teammate go. So, Harry got a lot of clear air up to the leader. Paramcol did manage to get that move done. Let's have a look at this. Was it fairly straightforward? Gets to the inside. Taz is fighting him. But Paramcol just with the soft tyres, is not really much Taz can do about that. So, Paramcol, he's got a couple laps to get the fastest lap and just absolutely send it. Where do we think he'd come out? Going to be at least 20 seconds further back. He's going to be at the bottom end of the top 10. Whoa! That looked like a weird spin there from Max Verstappen. Did he just launch it over the curb and get a bad bounce? Oh no, he's way overshot him. What happened there? Wheel disconnect, maybe? Because he's not going anywhere. Klinger's just coming in now. Still not going anywhere. His wheel's locked in a position. I think his wheel disconnected. Super weird. Okay, so let's try and figure out, is there any world where Paramcol makes it to the end on these tyres? Came in on lap 13, so this is going to be 2 laps. Seven or 8 laps, maybe? But 2 laps on dead tyres. Does get the fastest lap. Nobody's beating that on mediums. 45.4. I don't think anybody's beating that on mediums. So what does he do now? Did he decide to go for the fastest lap and now he's going to try and baby them to the end? Because he's got a big gap. A fairly big gap. Problem is 2 laps on dead tyres, which I think is going to be at least 2 laps. I think he's just full sending it. Because those tyres have come down a lot on this lap alone. They're almost approaching halfway. He's definitely going to have to bet again. There's still a slim chance at a top 10, I think. Because he's not going to have to put any fuel in when he pits. He's only going to have to change tyres. And he's definitely going to put on another set of softs. So he's going to be coming at these guys very quickly on their worn tyres. Harry, 46.6, what's Taz doing? 47.2, but he was overtaken on that lap, I think. we'll have to see what he does on this lap and if Harry's actually closing in on him. Badabig with the fresh tyres is starting to pull a gap on Arukis. Pyro up into P8. Avax at P9. Ross is up into the top 10. And we have lost Max Verstappen. I don't think it was a full disconnect from the server. I think his wheel died. And then he's quit because it's not connected anymore. That is my guess. And Klinger's actually not in the pits doing a pit stop. He is just parking it for the race. So we have only 11 drivers, so it's almost a guaranteed top 10 for anyone still running. Was Prime call 46.0 on the last lap, 46.5 from Taz, so he has dropped the lap time now that he was in clear air for a lap. And Harry's actually dropped time. And we'll have to keep an eye on Harry's tyres, because going for 12 laps on the mediums is a bold call as well. Jack, he's got a chance at holding a top 5. A slim chance of holding a top 5. Down to low 41s on the hard, so he's getting there with the pace. 46s for Astro, but we know that he's been roasting the tyres. Badabig's actually slightly better. 45.9 on the mediums. Oh, half-second penalty for Jack. That's kind of ruined any chance he had, I think, of holding on to this top 5. Because Badabig's got so much tyre left that he's going to get there with plenty of time to get the move done. And that half-second penalty, I'm pretty sure, is going to let Astro through. And he has. So he's already down into P5. Oh, and Badabig going for a super late move there. I want to have a look at that from Badabig's point of view. Because that looked from so far back. And Jack's sliding there. Which is so far back. But it's a fair move. Just about a fair move. Leaves him the minimum space on the exit, but there was a car's width there. And that's that position for Badabig and Jack down into P6. He's got Arukis fairly close behind, and then he's got a little bit of breathing space to Pyro in 8th. How Prime Call's tyres looking? Not good. Still doing low 46s, but they're basically doing the same times as the guys on the mediums now, or the fastest guys at least. Harry's pace has dropped quite a bit. I wonder if he now has decided he's got to take care of the tyres more. Awesome fuel saving. We saw him put in less fuel than his teammate, and Astro's going off a 1 second penalty. That's going to be a position for Badabig in this one, as long as he doesn't pick one up himself. A bit of a dodgy chicane there from Astro. Oh, and a 2 second penalty. Oh, that is just doubling down. Oh, and that's going to cost him positions to Badabig and Jack. Badabig's not even going to wait for the penalty. Gets to the inside. Gets the move done. This might even cost him the position to Arukis in 7th. And the tyres. What lap did he come in at? End of 13, I think. I don't know if his tyres are going to make it to the end. Because he's coming up to halfway through this stint he's got to do, and they are well below 50%. Pyros are fine. Avaxad's fine. Ross is just fine. Auto should have plenty of tyre wear because he came in late, and yeah, Prime Call does have to come in again. I'm really curious. I think he's still got a chance at the top 10 here, though. And it looks like it's not that bad, but the pit exit takes forever. You get into the pits pretty quick, but it's the exit of the pits that takes so long. Down into 8th. We're definitely going to have a top 10. There's not out of the realms of possibility he gets a top 5. It's a big gap, but he's on soft tyre compared to everyone else on old mediums and Jack on old hards. And 5 laps on the softs is about right, so he should just be able to push. Top 5's a big ask. But I don't think Astro's tyres are going to make it. And Jack is on the hards right now. So Primecore's going to be taking 2 seconds a lap out of Jack. And the gap is not that big. As long as he gets past Pyro quickly, still a chance at a top 5 from Primecore. So this 2 stops, although unintended, is actually working out surprisingly well. I'd be interested to see what would have happened if he'd gone mediums from the start. Because I wonder if there was a possibility he could have tried medium, soft, soft. I think going 13 laps on the mediums might have been a bit too much of an ask. But maybe you could have gone 11 and then 6 on the softs. So Harry's holding it about the pace at about 48s, which is kind of the same as Taz right now. Badabig is the one that's still flying. Took a second out of Harry on the last lap. Aruk is up into 4th. He's just sort of slowly gone about his business and sort of ended up in this position. Because he was vying towards at the bottom end of the top 10. Obviously he benefited from Primecore having to pit again. Whoa! What happened there? What did happen there? So he's behind Pyro in the slipstream. Pulls out there, pulls to... Oh, I think he just straightened out too much. I think he was just unsighted as to where he was and then straightened out as if he was going onto the straight. Well, that's what it looked like. That is definitely not going to help, but he's still going to be closing in. Honestly, the gap to P4 is not that big. He's only got 3 laps. That's probably going to be his biggest problem. He's getting moves done in time. He's going to have massive amounts of grip over these cars, but there's a limited amount of places to make a move. And Astro's tyres are not making this to the end whatsoever. Got half-second penalty there. I think Astro's going to be a free position by the end of the race. They've got a lap left, maybe a lap and a half before they're completely dead. So he needs to be babying them as much as he possibly can to delay that puncture setting in as much as possible. Taz just cruising 47.7, consistent in the 47s, same for Harry. Badabig dropped into the 47s, but still almost a second faster. This has been a great round from Taz. He's had pole position, dominant sprint win, and a dominant feature win. Obviously, you've got the question of what could Primecore have done if he'd put on medium tyres, but Taz is just absolutely nailing this round. And Primecore already back onto Pyro, and he can see his teammate up in 4th ahead. Currently going purple, but he doesn't really need to be bothered about that. He just needs to be getting the moves done. Can he launch it to the inside? Don't know if he's close enough. No, he's not. Just looks like he's struggling on the hard tyres. Yeah, they're getting pretty worn now. Not as worn as Pyro's mediums, but Pyro's mediums probably the better tyres still. Yeah, Jack just cannot get it turned and stopped. It's going to be 1 position for Primecore, so Jack down to 8th now. Primecore is still right in behind, but he's not been close enough to go for a move. really got to be focusing on setting this up because he's got so much more grip. He should be able to set up a move somewhere, even if it's slightly unorthodox. He should be able to set up a move somewhere. Astro's pitting. That's a bizarre strategy call. His tyres aren't even dead. So Astro's got a chance at getting Prime Cole's fastest lap, but I'm sure Astro would have been better off just staying out there and doing the lap and a half on dead tyres. But Prime Cole's still struggling to get this move done. He's up into 6th though. All he needs is this move and he's back in the top 5. Which he would definitely deserve because he's had the pace in this one. He had a chance of fighting for the win. But yeah, it's just sat behind. You've got to set up a run somewhere. Oh, that might just make it a lot easier because I think Pyro's going to get a penalty for that. We saw him get a penalty for a lot less. Yeah, and he does get a half-second penalty. Primeco's going around the outside of him anyway. I think 1 lap is going to be a bit too much for an ass to close that gap in. So we're going to move up to this battle for 2nd because Badabig has finally got there. Basically the same tyres, basically the same fuel. So this is just a straight out fight for 1 more lap. Who gets P2? Harry goes a little bit wide. Not enough to properly open the door. Harry using all the space on the outside, gets a good run. To be a big send from Badabig to go for here. He's looking to set it up into the chicane. I'll just get a better run and get alongside before they even get there. Looked like Harry got a good exit though. But on this long straight, Slipstream's going to kick in. Badabig's going to be able to get alongside, I think. And Harry's using 7th gear. Does that mean he's fuel saving? I don't think so. Citroen uses all of its gears pretty much everywhere. Ooh, that looked very messy. Was there any contact there? As Harry makes his defensive move, starts to come back. There is a little bit of contact, but it's Harry moving across in the braking zone, although that's not really leaving enough room. I have no idea if that got reported or not. But he's Badabig up into P2. Harry, I'm not sure Harry's going to have anything to come back at Badabig with. Because Badabig has looked the quicker all in all of tonight's races, really. Urukis should be fairly safe from his teammate. Still going to get a top 5. Yeah, I don't know, because I mean it's a question of whether it's you moving back under braking, because you did move in front of him. Obviously they're not leaving space on the exit, that's nothing to do with you. But yeah, it doesn't matter, it wasn't reported, but we've got to go on board with Taz. It's just absolutely dominant evenings of racing. Gets a comfortable feature win in the end. Getting a double win and pole position. Badabig does get 2nd in the feature race. Harry is 3rd. Pending any penalty reports, which we'll have a look at. Urukis gets 4th. Prime Cold gets 5th, which I think he deserved after having to do the 2-stop last minute. Pyro gets 6th. Jack in 7th. Arfaxad 8th. Ross gets 9th. Ahead of Auto in 10th. And Astro going for the fastest lap. I think he's trying for it, but he's not going to get it. Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to get it. 46.3 over the line, then Klingar's come out to finish the race. But yeah, I'm not sure that was the right decision from Astro. I think he could have had a couple of extra positions, even with the dead tyres. So let's have a quick look at the championship. How are we looking? Standings. Tier 2. So this is post stewards. So let's have a quick look. So Harry still holds on to the championship lead. Badabig lost a lot of positions in the sprint race. Didn't lose any in the feature. 5-point gap at the top. Astro's only 14 points back off the top. I think would have been closer if he'd stayed out at the end of that race there. Taz with a double win moves himself up into 4th, ahead of Arukis in 5th. Jack still holding on in 6th, ahead of Ross. Pyro being down that far is kind of surprising because he's had some really good qualifying, some really good races. Then we've got Prime Call down in 9th, I think that is. Then Auto in 10th in the Viper still. And in the Constructors, Citroen still leading the way, 142, ahead of Jaguar, McLaren, and then AMG. AMG a little bit far back to really say they're in the fight, but it looks like McLaren, Jaguar, and Citroen are going to be fighting out for the Constructors. But yeah, that's all for this week. Next week is Laguna Seca. Very different track. Definitely going to favour the MR cars more than any other. And going to be a lot of, probably not penalties, but mistakes and crashes. So make sure you tune in for that one next week. And I will see you guys then. Bye.